What is up? What is up? What is up, everybody? It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. A little midweek madness. Talking a little bit about the Dethrone the King League, how things have been going. Talk about the donations that were made. Talk about the charity, Big League Impact. So we got our guy Scott at King Engel in here. This whole league, we want to do something fun with him and kind of, get crazy with it and do it for charity. So, what's up, Scott? How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me. I'm getting a lot of feedback on my end.
Let's see if I can turn mine down. I got mine down. That might be Pat. If you've got YouTube or something going at the same time, or that could be it too.
No, I got nothing else going.
Yeah, I don't have anything else going either. It's gone now. Yeah.
Weird.
When you talk, it happens, I think.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
You better now?
If
How about now? Better now?
Yeah, better now.
Yeah, I wonder what's going on. Who knows? But anyways, let's get to it. How you enjoying the league? It's been kind of fun. I mean, I think we're through a couple. I mean, we're through 8 rounds now, or 9 rounds in one of the one of the conferences, and in the other conference, I think they're at about round 7. But this again, it's a 14-team league, slow draft, so we expect it to kind of take a little bit longer.
Yeah, for those tuning in, these are the Beat the King, the Throne the King leagues, and thank these guys for doing it to benefit Big League Impact. We're about 8 rounds deep. They're 14-team best ball leagues, and the pace has been pretty good. There's been some instances where I think people can learn from things. Not everybody's done a slow draft. I love slow drafts because it always gives you something to look forward to. Hey, I'm gonna make some picks when I wake up. Uh, hey, you know what? I just finished doing some work. Let me see where I am on the clock. It's always gives you something to look forward to. I mean, every other draft is like done just like that, and it gives you more time to consider your picks. The one thing is that sometimes people get impatient and they like to remind the people ahead of them, etc. You got to have some patience. It is a slow draft. Look, there's a guy ahead of me. I've already teased him. Whenever it comes up to him, the clock stops for a few hours, and I tease him. It's like I put a picture of a NASCAR GIF in the sleeper chat room. But I'm not going to get angry at anybody for taking a long time. As long as you don't use up the whole clock, I think you have to understand it's a slow draft.
Yeah, especially with work week. It's during the middle of a work week. Not everybody can get to their phones, or not everyone has full access to their phones at all times. We don't all work the same jobs, and some people are. I think we had somebody in Canada. I think we still have somebody in Canada, and I think we have somebody overseas too. So, that also affects it.
Yeah, it's really cool. I just tweeted in there. I was like Scott said, it's like Christmas morning every morning. You wake up and I get to make a pick. I'm like, it's pretty cool.
So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the charity and how much we ended up raising for the charity.
Yeah, bigleagueimpact.org was started by Adam Wainwright and benefits many significant causes through programs uh, led by major leaguers like Tommy Pham of the New York Mets, who I was talking to last week at Citi Field. Has a campaign for every home run that he hits, for every game the Mets that he wins. He donates to the Keratoconus Foundation. Keratoconus is a condition that Tommy and I actually share, where you have a slanted eyeball and you need particular type of corrective vision devices in order to see clearly with that. Uh, and Tommy helps a lot of professional athletes with that. Uh, but also, there's going to be a Top Golf event coming up with Kyle Gibson, in which you can play Top Golf with a lot of the Baltimore Orioles. They have a fantasy football event coming up with the Baltimore Orioles, one with the St. Louis Cardinals, one with the Chicago Cubs, where you can play with Yan Gomes and Patrick Wisdom fantasy football. So check it all out at bigleagueimpact.org. You can play fantasy football with your favorite players, major leaguers, because every major league clubhouse has a fantasy football league. Major league players love to play fantasy football, so you can play with them in a salary cap DFS sort of format to benefit great causes like clean water, human trafficking, stuff like that. Preventing human trafficking, things like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really good
We
charity.
raised about $800.
Yeah, $800. That was
Yeah.
awesome. And it's a good charity that you picked. It's a great charity, and I'm glad that they were excited about us, doing this and using their charity, and I'm excited for this. I think it's going to be great, and I think there's also potential for it to grow. So let's see. I know we have. I know Steven. So he's somebody that we have. He's over in the Middle East, serving our country. So I mean, that's somebody, and he's on the other end, of our draft. He's at the 14th spot. So he's somebody that ends up, sniping me a lot.
I haven't got sniped at all. Well, I always say this. I never get sniped.
That's why they're king.
Because when you get sniped, when you have expectations. I never have expectations. You're like, oh, he's gonna follow me. He's gonna follow me. Oh no, somebody took him. Like, I don't have that expectation. When my pick comes up, I have 7 guys queued up every time. By the time it hits my pick,
Yeah, that's smart.
I'm thinking that I like this player that might fall to me. There's a very good chance that the person ahead of me likes that player too. So I can't get ticked off about if I'm prepared. I can't be ticked off. It's always okay. If this player gets picked, I'm taking this next one. I'll start queuing up guys right after a pick, and I'll have like a dozen players queued up from round to round, and I watch about 9 of them go off the board. I'm never like, oh, you took my guy. He wasn't my guy if I never got a chance to pick him. I was hoping he would make it back to me. Well, if you don't want to deal with that, well, take him the round before.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I never, ever, ever get sniped. In fact, I think it was the 7th round, I did the opposite. I got Jordan Addison in the 7th, and I was a Jordan Addison, Brandon Cooks, Jordan Addison, Brandon Cooks. I said, okay, I'm going to take Addison. Cooks came all the way around to me in the 8th.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think a lot of people don't just forget about Cooks and forget about how, he's been somebody who's been quarterback proof, pretty much almost his whole career. He's had, had 1,000-yard receiving in multiple years. I mean, and he's in a good position now, where he's going to be able to be a number 2 receiver with Lamb on the other side. I think, that's going to give him an opportunity to be great again. And
this is the best quarterback that he's going to be playing with since he was with Brady in 2017.
I mean, and we saw what Brandon Cooks did in multiple different teams, still putting up 1,000 yards.
This is a piece. I just wrote a piece on the GameDayFootball.com because I work for the Game Day. Now that's my main writing site, about 10 reasons why the Dallas Cowboys can win the NFC Championship. And that stirs emotion because people either love or hate the Dallas Cowboys. There's no middle ground.
Right.
Although maybe for me, it's unusual. I don't hate them. I don't love them. But I wrote up 10 reasons why they can win the NFC. They got the 3rd best odds. And one of the reasons was, they got Brandon Cooks on that offense. They admitted they made a mistake getting rid of Amari Cooper, and now they've replaced him with somebody very good. And this offense is going to be good this year. Now, of course, to win the NFC, you got to stay healthy. I'm saying if the Cowboys don't suffer any major injuries, because part of getting to a Super Bowl is staying healthy. I think a lot of people don't think about that. It's like, as a Seahawks fan, look, I'll never say that, the Patriots won Super Bowl 49 fair and square. But, people say, oh, Brady tore up the best defense, of the decade. And like, well, Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, and Earl Thomas were all playing with significant injuries, and their top nickelback broke his arm in the first quarter. Now, look, Patriots won that fair and square. I give them full credit. But that was not the same defense in terms of in terms of what it was a few weeks before that.
Most people don't understand that. That's just facts.
Yeah. I'm not making excuses. Look, the Patriots won the game. I give them credit. But when people say, oh, Brady had a great fourth quarter against one of the greatest defenses of all time and tore him up, like, that team was playing really, really hurt. They also lost Cliff Averill up front to a concussion. And that really trimmed down the pass rush, too.
All right, so let's get into some.
JC's like, okay, enough Seahawk paint. You know?
I love my Seahawks, but I want to talk a little bit about these drafts. I mean,
yeah.
Hey, did you order a new jersey? Are you going to?
I already have throwbacks.
I suppose you got originals.
I love them throwbacks.
I have in the closet right here. I have a Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
1983 throwback.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I have all throwback hats, jerseys, shirts, etc. I also own Ricky Waters, John Kitna, Sean Springs, Joey Galloway.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Which one you bringing to the expo?
Probably. Well, I'm not going to tell you that. What's the fun of telling you that?
Oh man, thought I'd get it out of you.
No, it's gotta be a surprise.
All right, I'll be surprised. I like surprises.
I think I got to get a Geno. I thought about getting a Lockett just because I'm going to be supporting a lot of Lockett this year. But
love that.
A throwback?
Yeah.
Are you a Seahawks fan, JC?
Yeah.
I know you had that behind you. I thought it was just for decoration.
No, I mean, so Vikings are my first team, I guess, by default, just because I've lived here for so long, and then I lived in Washington for a while too, and pretty close to Seattle. So I mean, that would be my second team. I guess the Panthers would be my third team because I'm from South Carolina. That's why I'm a Gamecocks fan.
All right, JC, I'm gonna have to give you crap. None of this
man.
Team stuff. Just so if one team doesn't win, I can hop on to the other kind of stuff. Come on, JC.
Part of being
all right, I come from New York, even though I'm a Seahawks fan. When the Mets played the Yankees in the World Series, you know, the slogan was "pick a side," because there were people like, "Oh, I root for both. They're both New York." No, pick a side.
Got to pick a side, right?
Yeah.
I think Seahawks always have a better chance than winning Super Bowl than the Vikings. I think we're just cursed forever, you know.
Eventually,
when you make a crazy trade with the Dallas Cowboys, it tends to hurt you.
True.
Oh.
Forever cursed. Oh, we have this thing called kicker problems too, where either they just suck here and then they get fired and they go be like the best kickers of all time.
Blair Walsh in the wild card game.
Oh,
yeah, I was at that game.
Don't forget Gary Anderson. Yeah,
I'll tell you how cold it was.
That's how JC can play it safe.
Yeah.
If Walsh would have made the kick, he would have cheered. He didn't make it. He cheered.
I see what you're doing there, Scott.
Yeah, I could cheer for the Seahawks. See the Seahawks won. I was like, yeah, boo on the Vikings.
Yeah.
And I was on the opposite side of where they were kicking the field goal. It looked good from where we were at, which was crazy. I think for how wide it was too. I mean, it was so cold. It was so cold. Like, and the only people who scored points were kickers that whole game.
I think that was like the second coldest playoff game ever.
It was pretty cold.
That Bengals Chargers AFC Championship in 1982, I think the coldest.
I think it was -11 if I can't. I think -11 is how cold I remember. That was before wind chill.
I still remember that incredible catch and throw from Wilson to Lockett, though.
Oh, yeah.
It was a pretty fun game to watch. I mean, not a lot of stuff happened, like I said. I mean, it was just a lot of up and down the field.
During the regular season in Seattle, when the weather wasn't a factor, like Seattle absolutely dominated them.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And just like Lockett, everybody thinks he's just going to fade away. Not even close.
No, a lot of people say because he's 31, and the mistake a lot of people make is saying that 31 is the decline age for every position. You know, it's kind of a generic decline age for running back. I always like to say the late great Mike Tagliari of Fantasy Pros did annual studies on actual fall off ages, and it showed that most wide receivers don't start falling off until age 32 or age 33.
See, look at that.
Yeah, I mean, and the environment he's playing in too. I feel like he's going to be just fine. His body's acclimated to all the weather, different weather, and I mean, he's just fine. I think a lot of people get worried about, like you said, age, JSN coming in. That could, I think that, if anything, I think that helps
It's
him.
going to eat into his numbers fantasy-wise, him and Metcalf, but he's not going to surpass Lockett right away on the depth chart.
No, definitely.
I think the thing that people forget about Lockett is he always finds a way to be open. Like, it's crazy. And he'll be like, nobody around him open. Like, how did he get that open?
It's like Circle K. He's always open.
Yeah. Yep. All right, let's get into talking a little bit about some of these. Let's get into this league. So this one is the Titans League. This is the one that you are in, sir.
Yeah, second pick.
Yep, second pick. Gemo's in here. We got Mel in here. Wendy's in here. Sieg's in here. I'm in here. And then Uncle Mercy's in here. This is a pretty crazy league. I mean, I think that and we're already into the, let's see, 10th round. And Sieg is on the clock. Sieg, you are on the clock, sir. And we can talk a little bit about your team if you want to.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
So, I mean, Sieg's going to tell you that he believes that Chase is the wide receiver 1. So then you'd technically be getting the steal there with Jamar Chase falling to you. And then
not by one pick, but sure, I appreciate
it. What would be your number 1 overall pick? Justin Jefferson, if he was there?
Chase is not a steal at number 2. I think that's the ideal pick.
Oh, well, There you go. Then you got Pollard in the turn.
Yeah, I'm very happy with that. He's my number 5 ranked overall running back. And this is like the 3rd draft already. Scott Fishbowl in the 3rd round. FFPC Pros versus Joe's in the 2nd round. Pairing him with Tyreek Hill at the number 6 spot. I have him ranked number 5 at running back, so I'm very happy with him as my RB2.
And then you made the turn with Devonta Smith, and I'm very high on Slim Reaper this year. I mean, I was very high on him last year coming in. When they brought in AJ Brown, I think a lot of people were afraid that he was going to lose numbers. And I'm like, there's no way, man. It's going to be a 1A, 1B type situation. Devonta Smith will make more of them down the field catches. You'll have AJ Brown there making them intermediate catches, and then just he used a lot with after the catch kind of stuff. But Devonta Smith makes those big downfield catches, and he was technically the alpha. If you look at it, he had more targets, more catches, or I think he had less targets, more catches.
Yeah, very efficient, explosive. My number 14 ranked wide receiver. All my ranks are at rotoballer.com. In the fantasy football season pass, enter King at checkout for a discount.
So then you went with, for your first QB, and if people don't know, this is just a 1 QB league. So, I mean, obviously you see a lot of QBs going pretty early. You see some people taking 2 QBs. But, yeah, like this is a 1 QB league, 3 wide receivers. And we got a pick on the board right there. See, Rashad Bateman. Boo.
Yeah, I actually think that's probably the worst pick of the draft. That's good value actually there. I'm just messing with Zeke.
That's good. That's good stuff. But so you took Deshaun Watson. What are your thoughts on him this year?
Yeah, quarterbacks go off the board quicker than they used to. Everybody used to wait, especially in leagues with savvy players like this. But he was the 11th quarterback off the board in the first 4 rounds. I kind of got to the point where you always try to stack if you can in best ball, but at that point it really wasn't possible. I did think about a Waller Daniel Jones stack with those 2 kind of picks, but that doesn't have a huge amount of upside. So when you can't go with the stack, you go with the best player on the board. He's my number 10 ranked quarterback. The big thing for him is now his season is not interrupted. He plays a full preseason, comes out of the gate as a starter, already has a previous preseason and some experience with the Browns already. So I think there's a lot of promise for him. I think the floor is top 10 fantasy quarterback. The ceiling is top 5. The last time we saw Deshaun Watson play a full season as a quarterback, he was the number 5 in 2020.
I mean, Deshaun Watson, we know what he can be. We saw, obviously he went through some troubles for 2 years, and, he's back, had to, missed a couple games. Week 10 he came back, right? Week 10 or 11. So, that's a long time not to play football, with a lot of stuff going on and, having to get used to what's going back on, on a new team. And I think them getting Elijah Moore is going to be a big help. I think he could be somebody that could be kind of special on that team. And I also think that, Donovan Peoples-Jones might be somebody that kind of shows out a little bit.
Yeah, I like Peoples-Jones a lot before they just signed Elijah Moore.
That is true. But I think that there's enough weapons on this team. They lost Kareem Hunt, but, Nick Chubb, I think, steps up a little bit. He's going to have a lot more opportunity there. And Njoku steps up. I think this team can be, a contender. And Deshaun could, like you said, be very well off. And then so on the turns.
By the way, great pick in that round of Sky Moore. Really good value here.
There you go, Rico.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess on that team, there's a lot of, questions on who's going to be the guy. So, like you're right. There's a lot of upside with Sky Moore, especially that late. So then you got Pitts. I guess I should ask you your thoughts on Pitts. I'm not high on Pitts for the take. He's got all the talent in the world, but he's somebody I'm just not touching this year.
He's my number 6 tight end. I wouldn't say don't touch him, because you have to remember that tight end is a position where everybody learns early, and tight ends really don't break out until their 3rd year, and he's hitting his 3rd year. And, this is potentially the breakout year for him. If the knee is fine, which it should be for the regular season, I'm anticipating. And, if those are the first 2 learning years, the numbers were pretty darn good. So, I think this could be the year where Pitts really breaks out. And you have to go for upside in a best ball league, and he's an upside play. I saw somebody mention the mistake by the lake. In the chat there. So, wow.
I think it was his team name, wasn't it?
Old Cleveland Municipal Stadium. Wow. I remember Cleveland playing. And you guys, if you can hold those comments up a little longer because they're flashing kind of quick. And
yeah, I'm trying
to read them. I appreciate it. But I remember Julio Franco being up, and there were like 1,000 people in the stands, and one guy is yelling, Julio.
That's good stuff.
It is good.
Oh, man.
Do you like Kittle or Pitts better, Scott?
I have Kittle ranked higher because he's more proven and bigger touchdown threat.
So, I feel like if Purdy's the guy, I think Kittle, gives a little bit more of a uptick.
That's in a seasonal league, though. If you want to take a crack in a best ball league where the competition is fierce and almost treat it like high stakes, like this league, I can see going Pitts.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
A lot more upside, right?
Yeah.
Well, technically, he should be the number 2 target on that team, right?
Yeah.
Or the 1. I guess to me, it was just, I don't know if I see enough pass attempts from Ritter.
I think it's going to be more than last year. Besides,
So,
we're talking tight end. You always got to temper expectations anyway. I
That's
have
true.
him ranked number 6. Obviously, Kelsey. I got Hawkinson number 2, Andrews number 3, Waller number 4, Kittle number 5.
Wow, I love that. I got Hawkinson and Kittle in the other league for your draft.
I like Hawkinson number 2. He's going to be the number 2 receiver, for the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, I ding Andrews a little bit because his past performance has been based on the fact that he's been the only game in town at receiver. Now, take a look at what they have there and wide receiver. It's the best wide receiver crew that's ever been on a depth chart for Lamar Jackson. That's going to take away from Andrews this year.
That's a great point. Great point, Ken.
Thank you.
I'll tell you, I don't think that Bateman does much. I'm going to tell you. So remember, I'm from Minnesota.
Yeah.
So the Gophers are here, the Golden Gophers. If
Yeah.
anybody knows who they are. They have been top 10 in like last couple of years, so they have been showing up on the top 10 charts. But I'll tell you, I don't think you can tell me any wide receiver besides Eric Decker, who I went to high school with, that has come out of that college that has actually performed at the wide receiver position since, I don't know, the 1990s.
I don't know. All I remember with Minnesota is I used to film a television show there many years ago. Used to fly in every week, and the producer used to take me to Al's breakfast downtown.
Well, that's pretty cool. Was it good breakfast?
Well, that's what I'm asking Patrick. If he lives in Minnesota, he's got.
You know what? I don't think I've actually been to an Al's. I don't think I've been to Al's.
Al's is legendary. I
don't think I've been there.
Like the best breakfast in Minnesota.
I better go then, because I'm missing out. There's a lot of good breakfast places here. I mean, there's a lot of places to eat food here, so I'm sure
JC will be eating there and sending you pictures.
I need to go check it out.
Yeah.
Especially because I love food.
Yeah, I'm getting more feedback all of a sudden again.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think next time maybe I'm just going to try to get some headphones because I didn't have this problem last time. I don't know.
Yeah.
I was having some issues with the internet earlier. It was going off and on and off and on, so maybe it caused some issues with my computer. Who knows? All we can do is just press on.
We'll tough it out.
You got any Pittsburgh stories for us? You got any Pittsburgh stories? Yeah.
I've been there twice. It's just going to Steelers game. If you go to a Steelers game, you have to take the ferry over. It's the only way to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is the only way to go.
Yeah. And if you miss on Kelsey, it's better for wait for a later round tight end. Farquin Fantasy Flock asked that. No, I want a top. I want a top 6 tight end this year. I don't want to wait for a dart throw and hope every week that I get a decent amount of points with a low floor. I want one of those top 6 this year.
I think it's talking about Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Best 2 days of your life, Stephen Hewlick.
I think he's talking about Pittsburgh.
Yeah. I was going to say one of them is definitely when my son was born.
It definitely was a good day.
Yeah, it definitely was a good day.
So James Cook, I mean, I guess there's a lot of talks now about Dalvin wanting to go play with his brother. I was thinking he might sign back in Minnesota.
I can't see where there's room for him in Buffalo, really.
Right.
I don't think he's going to go back to Minnesota at all because, they already would have committed to him.
Minnesota might wait it out, play the waiting game.
For what? They've moved on.
You think? You don't think it's about money?
No, it's probably about money, but
for sure it's about
money.
Vikings
have already moved on with
not letting him go.
They've started training camp. They've moved on to Madison.
That's true too. When you start training camp.
Yeah, now it's about who gets an injury that's going to pay me.
That's a great point. That's what's going to happen. Somebody's going down, and he's going to
be
a contender.
If Josh Jacobs never shows up to the Raiders signing.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Yeah. But I mean, there's plenty. I mean, a lot of people have been targeting lower. Running backs. I mean, we saw Melvin Gordon get signed to the.
That'd waste their time.
$3 million.
I'm telling you, people are giving Alexander Madison not enough respect. When a front office clears a way for a guy to start with little competition, it shows that they respect him. He's played well as a backup. He's got his opportunity to start. The front office obviously likes what it sees from him, has been waiting for him to give him an opportunity. If Alexander Madison, people are just sleeping on him just because he's not Dalvin Cook. He's going to be darn solid. He's going to be a goal line finisher for a very good offense.
I love it, Scott. I love it. I hope you're right.
I think we're going to have to reevaluate that at the end of the year. I mean, I'm like I said, I'm a Vikings fan, and I'm going to disagree with that.
Well, now, Miami looks like the place to be.
Because you sound to me like you're kind of like a doom and gloom Vikings fan.
No, I'm I'm a very real. Like last year, if you heard how much I talked bad about Kirk Cousins, you'd be like, man, this guy must hate the Vikings. He must be a Packers fan. No, I'm just very honest.
Who really talks up Kirk Cousins except for Patrick Mahomes?
I mean, I'll talk him up this year. I think this year is the year that he can break that.
He's a good regular season quarterback.
He is.
Yeah. 1-4 in the playoffs with the Vikings. That's not very good.
It's not an insult. It's just like he is a good regular season quarterback, but he hasn't been good in the playoffs.
JC just gets disappointed a lot year in, year out.
That's the hard part. That's why
That's the hard part for him.
It's tough.
Well, I guess you're a Twins fan. They haven't won in a long time. Right?
Yeah, it's really hard.
Timberwolves have
they
never
finally
won.
got some pitchers now. I mean, it only took 30 years.
The Timberwolves have never won anything, but they're a
sweet.
younger franchise.
They're another team who makes bad trades. I mean, when they made that trade, I was like, this is the worst trade in history. I mean, how do you go out and get the guy who spread COVID to the NBA? Come on. and pay 3 first-round picks for him. Come on. Or was it
Scott?
4? It might have been 4. I don't even know.
He's been a Seahawks fan and a Mets fan. I mean, that's awesome, right?
Seahawks, Mets, and Knicks.
You got one of them every year is going to be winning.
No, the Seahawks are coming off a great decade.
Yeah,
the Mets have not won in 37 years.
You're right there.
I don't discount the fact that when you win a pennant and go to the World Series, that's a significant accomplishment. They did win the pennant in 2015. The Knicks, it's been a long time, 1970.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, I guess our best bet here is hoping that the Wild. I mean, we do have one of the best young hockey players in the NHL right now, and Kirill Kaprizov, he's pretty insane. So I mean,
I'll take your word for it because I don't watch the NHL.
See, hockey's my go-to once football is kind of done because it's all right. There's still a lot of physical, contact, just smashing into each other.
I respect that. It's something I don't watch.
And NHL playoffs, I feel are really I think it's a lot of fun to watch the playoffs.
Look, it's exciting to a lot of people. I'm not going to say that it shouldn't be. It's just,
it's not big for me either.
I personally, people will say, how could you not like the NFL playoffs? Well, I have different taste than you. If you enjoy it, it's great. It's fantastic. I understand why a lot of people love playoff hockey. It's just, if I'm not going to watch regular season hockey, I'm not going to watch playoff hockey. It's just it's not a sport for me. I like NASCAR. A lot of people don't like NASCAR.
That's true.
Yeah. So I think here's the thing too is I wasn't really big into NASCAR until I started doing some DFS stuff. When I got into DFS stuff, then I was like, all right, now I'm going to get into it because it was at that point it's all right, I'm going to listen to it on the radio or I'll put it on YouTube or I'll put it on something and just kind of listen to it and listen to my racers and hope that they're doing good.
Yeah.
So
that's what fantasy does for a lot of people, and my son who writes DFS NASCAR for Guru Elite, Sean Engel, follow him at Shawnee247 on Twitter. He's a DFS NASCAR expert. He's far better than I am. He's won 9 tournaments on DraftKings.
He's pretty cool. I follow him on Twitter. He's always got some good stuff.
Thanks.
Definitely.
All right, so you took Addison. And, I think a little.
Yeah, I know what you're going to say. Of all the rookies, I think he's going to be.
I think he'll be fine.
I think they made a mistake by taking him.
Scott knows you
learn his
well
lesson.
now.
I just hope that he learns his lesson. He's right on his Twitter.
He said his dog was sick, and they accepted the explanation. You gotta move on. But I think he's got to be the number 3 target in that offense. I think Hawkinson the number 2, but I like where I got him.
Yeah, before all this happened, I'm gonna tell you. So my crazy dark horse prediction that a lot of things have to happen, but was that Jordan Addison would finish as the rookie of the year.
Oh, I love that.
Very dark horse. It was a very dark horse prediction, but
that's if Bijan Robinson doesn't play up to expectation.
And it could happen, right? It could happen.
Plus,
there's also Gibbs. There's a lot of people that can easily take it. It's very, very unlikely. But I just said the situation where he went into, with Thielen leaving. Great situation. Kirk Cousins, that especially with Chris O'Connell. O'Connell wants to make this an air raid offense, so it's there's a huge opportunity for him to put up 1,000 yards in year 1.
So, how many people from your group are going to be at the Fantasy Football Expo?
So I know
you guys have a booth, right?
No, I don't know if we got one this year. I think we're going to get one next year for sure. I think Iggy and I kind of talked about it. We're going to move around, do a lot of just walking around, talking to people and doing it more that way. Right. I'm going to get him and I are going to get. Some I don't know if you heard dot cards. They're like a networking card instead of having business.
Oh, okay, yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna try it this year and see how they work.
We're all gonna have our shirts on and our hats, so you'll know who each of us are. And with our names on the back too. We got our names.
So how many people will you have there?
About 8, 10.
I know for sure it'll be me, Iggy, Pat, I think Two Fat Guys is going to be there. Anthony, I'm pretty sure he's going to be there.
Sieg is going to be there.
I think Sieg said he can't make it this year.
Right.
He couldn't. The travel was going to be a problem for him. He was going to come. I told him to fly into Pittsburgh. I'd take him.
I know a lot more people are going to be coming next year because I think people are trying to prep for it.
Right.
But I think that's why we didn't really have a booth, because it's going to be more, because I know Iggy's going to be pretty busy with stuff. I know he's going to be on the IDP panel. I know he's going to be in the IDP Kings Classic.
League, yeah, King Classic.
So, I mean, he's going to be busy with a lot of stuff.
Right.
So it would just be kind of me holding down the fort.
Who's all coming to represent you there, Scott?
I'll be there with the game day, along with Frank Amarante, Felipe Fonts from the Caps Off podcast. I think Sam Wagman from our group is coming too.
Nice.
Our marketing guy, Brian Corsell. Rotoball is also going to have a booth there too. So
that's sweet. That's sweet. Hey, what's these trophies back here behind you, real quick? I never get to see this stuff.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Can we get a little bit of insight on that?
Yeah. Oh, my Lombardi lookalikes here. You're talking about.
Yeah.
We have a big league in New York City that drafts at the end of August called the Granite Street Tavern League, where a lot of industry people, whether they be talent, people that work behind the scenes, high stakes players, fans, etc. We do a big league every year. It's 2 leagues under one umbrella at the Granite Street Tavern, and I won 3. We do 2 individual leagues and an overall, and I won one of my individual leagues 3 years in a row when I won the overall twice. So that's what the Lombardis are for. Plus,
that's awesome.
One year when I won it, they do like a custom trophy and they put one of your top players on it. So Russell Wilson is actually like the McFarlane is actually like put on to the top of the trophy. The league commissioner.
That's sweet.
Yeah. Plus, I got my FSGA basketball trophy. There, I won the FSGA Experts League 2 years ago as well.
So there's a reason why you're the king.
Jonathan Siegel says Lazard. Stop it, Jonathan.
That's who Mel took. Mel's a huge Packers fan, but Lazard is now a Jet.
So he should know not to take Alan Lazard. I mean,
yeah.
The Jets don't have an ideal number 2 wide receiver. Lazard is a good blocker and a good clubhouse guy, but I don't see him putting up very good.
Corey Davis.
Yeah. If anybody's going to come out of that group, I'm sorry to criticize the pick. I hope I'm wrong for your sake. So you can come in second behind me. But if there's one receiver I like in that group, I'm very interested to see what McCole Hardman can do. He said the reason why he signed with the Jets is because they said they were going to expand this route tree and not let him be a gadget receiver anymore.
Oh, a lot of these people are just talking to each other in the chat.
Yeah.
Talking smack.
He was in my queue, Melissa. Hopefully you had 6 guys in your queue and you didn't get sniped.
All right, how about this? I'm gonna do a duck race. I mean, we're about halfway through the show. We got probably about maybe 20 more minutes left to show. We'll have Scott critique maybe. Maybe I'll have you critique real quick Greg's team, and then
we'll am I to critique Greg Kellogg?
Yeah, critique.
He was doing it before I was.
All right, I'm gonna give away some cards. So I'm gonna do a duck race, so here's the password. Put this in the chat. Snipe. Put snipe in the chat. Put snipe in the chat. If you put that in there, I'm gonna get your name in. We'll do a duck race. I got some old school autograph cards. I mean, and they're old school. We got Santana Moss autograph. We got a Terrell Pryor autograph, and we got a Shane Vereen jersey autograph.
Oh, bring me on and talk about Shane Vereen, who played great in Super Bowl 49. Seahawks. Thanks a lot.
Shane Vereen, baby. Oh, we must have lost Patrick. That's all right. So, put snipe in the chat, and I'll get your names in here. I know everyone likes the duck race. So let's talk a little bit about. I guess if you don't want to critique Kellogg's team, let's pick a team that you another team in here that you like.
I can't do that. I'll tell you why. I'm not looking at anybody else's draft but my own. I don't care who other people draft. I don't care how they're building their teams, only to look at like, okay, if I'm getting my queue together, how many teams may have a quarterback, whatever. It's like I haven't studied the other rosters. I don't care who everybody else is drafting. And when you draft, that's the way it should be too. I like to wait till the end of the draft and then I'll take a good review of it. It's like I know you're asking me for content, and I probably should do it, but I'm trying to make a point is I don't give a hoot about what anybody else's team looks like. I only care about my own team when I'm in the draft. I'm taking note of where other guys are going and maybe how certain positions are thinning out, but I don't care about who else everybody else has.
I actually 100% agree with you, and you're right. I was just fishing for some content for
Yeah,
some
you
free
are.
content.
So I can't blame you for that, but to give you an on the fly answer would be right. It's like
No.
I
So
don't.
I
I
agree
think
with
I'd
you
be doing
too.
a disservice.
I do. I agree with you too. For me, it's like we were talking about earlier. It's like I like to let the draft kind of fall to me. The players, I mean, like you said, there's players. I mean, I don't go into it and be like, all right, I'm going to draft a quarterback here in this round, or I'm going to draft a running back. To me, it was like in the Scott Fish Bowl, like running backs just kept falling to me. I grabbed Trevor Lawrence at 11, and then all of a sudden it was just like running back. And then I ended up getting 3 wide receivers that were decent to build my team. And I'm like, all right, well, I'm good. And I just waited on running, or I think I ended up getting Trevor and Goff as my as my quarterbacks, and I was fine with that. And I got a really decent running back room and a really decent wide receiver room, and I think I just punted on tight ends. I mean,
Yeah.
just hoping somebody hits. I don't know. Like I said, if Kamara doesn't, I mean, we'll see what happens with Kamara. We still don't know what's going to come out with the NFL, what they're going to do about it. But we already know what Taysom Hill can do. I mean, he's not really a tight end. I mean, last year I think he had maybe 12 to 13 catches.
I only want him in a best ball league because you never know what he's going to do in any week. He can give you 3 points. He can give you 30. You just don't know. And we don't know exactly how Sean Payton's going to use him either.
That's true too. I think it was just more the fact, like if Kamara's gone for 6, let's just say 6 games, who is it really? It's Jamal Williams. But it's not going to be just him.
Kendra Miller.
It wasn't.
They drafted him.
Yeah, I guess. I just think that there's opportunity there.
There is, but I don't think you can guess how much games he's going to be suspended for. Nobody knows except for the league. Ezekiel Elliott, people are like bringing their guesses all over the place. You never know what the suspension is going to be. Could be 1 game, could be 7. Nobody knows.
Yeah, I mean, I think so. Who did I end up grabbing? I ended up grabbing who's the title? Tyler Higbee, I think, who I grabbed in like the 10th round. So I'm just hoping.
Higbee has been overrated in the past. Everybody's ranked him so high, but you look at the week-to-week game log, he has no upside. But I think it's different this year with him because they really don't have a number 2 wide receiver. So and Tyler Higbee could be the number 2 pass catcher for the Rams this year. So I like Higbee more than I do in past seasons.
Yeah, that's kind of how I was looking at it too. And I mean, even if Cup kind of goes down, then who's really there? They're going to probably have to try to bring somebody in. I mean, they have a bunch of younger guys that they're kind of just trying to throw in there and hope that they hit.
Van Jefferson's got some potential.
Skowronek. I mean, he was somebody last year that kind of
he's a better NFL player than a fantasy player.
That's true.
Yeah.
Didn't they brought in some new kid too this year too, right? They brought in
somebody. Puka, the rookie. Yep. Puka. Yeah. So but he's small though.
Let me see. Let me hop over to. Let's go to this one. Let's just jump in here quick. Let's see what's going on in this draft room. All right, so I know Iggy's in this room.
I think Jesse Morris is
in this room. Yep. Pat's in this room. Yeah, I mean this is a crazy room too. So let's just look at Pat's team. So he went with McCaffrey fell pretty far to him, which is pretty insane. Like
what was his draft spot?
6.
Right. Wow. that just goes to prove that anything can happen in any draft. People always say, "Well, I'm sitting at 7. This is what I think is going to happen ahead of me." Don't expend mental energy on that. Just let the draft come to you.
Like I said, I agree 100%. I mean, I have a lot of people that ask me that, like, what is your strategy going into this draft? Like I said before, it's like I'm just gonna wait, especially if I'm like at 11. Like, all right,
You
well,
have a loose shell of a plan, but don't try to predict that. People say, "Well, I know these guys are going ahead of me because I spoke to such and such." Such and such might not be telling you the truth, and he might change his mind on the fly.
well, so to me, I think my plan going into Scott Fishbowl was at 11. I'm hoping that if Trevor Lawrence falls to me at 11, I'm going to take that. But if not, if he's not there, then I'm not going to reach on a quarterback, and I probably will just let that go until like the 4th or 5th round and just see who's there. And I'll probably just take Bijan and just hope for the best, because he'll probably be there.
Is that what happened?
No, I ended up getting Trevor. I still ended up getting Bijan on the turn, and I ended up getting Nick Chubb and Brees Hall. So those are my 3 top running backs.
That's pretty good.
So I
wouldn't take Hall as a number 1, but I'll certainly take him as a number 3.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at 4, right? Saying maybe my worst case scenario is I either get Kelsey or I get one of the top 3 quarterbacks. Then the guy picking number 1, he picked Burrow last year, and he told me that he was going to go off the board again. And he picked Tua Tagovailoa number 1 overall. So I said to myself, okay, I'm golden now. We get one of the top 3 quarterbacks. I got Josh Allen first round and paired him with Stephon Diggs in the 2nd to get the connection, and then took Tony Pollard in the 3rd.
And so
top 3 players to redraft league, half PPR. Jefferson, Chase, Easy, and then McCaffrey. I think it's almost kind of chalky.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what everybody kind of does.
Yeah.
Sieg was telling me
I
about
really
that.
don't. My PPR rankings and my half PPR are very close. To me, if you get scoring for a reception, you get scoring for a reception. Here's mine, Uncle. Sieg says Chase, JJ, CMC in that order. All right. Sieg's just cutting and pasting my stuff. So.
That's so funny. Yeah, he was telling me, he's like, he sent us a picture. He's like, I can't believe this. He's like, Tua just went off at number 1 in the live draft. I was like, oh my God, guy's gonna be. I hope he takes Mike White in the 2nd round, because that's gonna be.
Patrick says I never get snipped. I hope not. That'd be painful.
Who said that?
Sniped. Patrick said in the chat here. I'm looking like Scott knows best ball never gets snipped.
Oh,
I think he meant sniped. Sniped with 1 P. Snipped is like, that's very painful, and I don't want to think about that.
Sorry, Pat, I didn't see you in there. He said that you're talking about getting snipped.
Correct, yeah.
I said snipped instead of sniped.
Or don't you get snippy with me.
Pat, talk a little bit about your team real quick, and I'm going to get this duck race set up, and then we'll get the duck race going, and then after that we can kind of get out of here. I know Gemmo the Icon, I mean, I was on his show last week. It was a blast. He was at the expo last year. I wish he was going to be there again this year. I know his wife's going to be gone, so he has to take care of the kids. He'll be there next year, but he is an awesome person. He has Bob Harris on tonight, so that's going to be a lot of fun. So
Bob Harris, one of the greats.
Yeah,
that was a great thing about the expo. All the years that I knew him, I never got to meet Bob Harris until last year. I think I hugged him for like 15 minutes.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
He's like super genuine too, which is like,
he is.
You don't see that a lot, for people that are way up, like how popular. I mean, like also like Bob Lung too. Like Bob Lung was like very approachable, like really cool to talk to.
Bob and I go way, way back.
He's a nice guy too.
We're friends, me and Bob. And he took me to a great restaurant in Akron last year for like Thai food. It was fantastic.
Yeah, we got a little tipsy on that Saturday night, late night crew, just hanging out in the lobby at the DoubleTree. So that's a good time.
It's not at the DoubleTree this year, so I think the Hall of Fame Village is actually going to be a hangout spot.
Yeah, it probably will be. But
a friend of mine owns a bar there that's what is it called? I'm going to tell you the name of it right now. It's actually on the Hall of Fame Village campus. So I don't know if people are going to be hanging out at the bar as much because
long as they got Dr.
There's other hotels, this year you can stay at too. Let's see, Conwell Kettle. It's a something kettle. Let's see. Trying to remember the name of the bar. You guys can talk while I look.
So I was gonna say, there's gonna be shuttles running back and forth. I know the DoubleTree is like the main, the main hangout for most of it.
Yeah.
'Cause, Friday night it's right up the street is gonna be, there's that little hangout where they do the beanbag toss or the bags tournament. I think they're doing a beer. I think Trophy Smack's doing a beer pong tournament if I'm not mistaken. So, I mean, that was pretty fun the first night there. Where
I'm looking forward to the karaoke jam. I'm not a beer pong kind of guy.
I think Friday was just kind of fun because you can kind of walk around and just talk. Everyone's kind of just there, kind of getting there, or they've been there for one night. We're getting,
the brew kettle.
Gonna have to go.
Kettle.
Yeah.
I know Friday night I'm picking up Iggy from Cleveland Airport at 7:50 or something like that. Right. I don't know if you need a ride or anytime. Things like you getting in on Friday because I'm gonna have a vehicle. I'm driving out there.
I could tell you right now if you want. Hold on, let's see.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a vehicle out there. I'm driving from Minnesota, so
yeah, I'm gonna have one too. So if you need a ride, we're good.
Good. I do actually.
Because I told Siegel, fly in around that time. We told Siegel also to fly into Pittsburgh and he could meet up with.
Yeah, if you just flew into Pittsburgh, that's all you got to do.
Yeah, I'm flying into Cleveland.
You just let me know what time. You're coming in on Friday or what?
Yeah, during the day though.
Yeah, that's fine. There's not really much going on. There's a couple things I think going on in the morning on Friday, but I don't think that much.
Okay, here we go. I am getting in at 12:54.
All right, sounds good. Shoot me. If you want to ride, I'm sure we could plan something. Maybe come pick you up.
Oh yeah, it'd be great. I'm coming in with one of the other game day guys, if that's cool.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm gonna have a Subaru, so we'll have plenty of room. Nice. Subaru. So we'll have plenty of room. Yeah, absolutely. This is my pleasure.
Yeah. I'd rather ride with you, than
an Uber driver.
Some other generic guy I don't know. Oh, what are you guys doing? Yeah.
Hey, you guys going to the expo? Let me get a ride real quick.
Fantasy football was not. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Pat, let me tell me a little bit about your team. You're on. You're muted, buddy. Let me see. There you go.
We better.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah.
I got 2 tight ends so far. I didn't plan on it, but I got. I ended up with Kittle, and I got your boy Hawkinson. So they both fell late.
The bully tight end strategy.
Yeah, I didn't want to do it, but the other one fell too far, and I'm like, I liked them better.
Yeah, but this way you get the optimum scoring a tight end in many weeks, and if the other one goes off too, one of them will count as your flex.
Right, right. So yeah, not my plan, like you said. I took what fell.
Right.
No, if you end up with 2 top 5 tight ends, technically at that point you could have either an amazing flex or that you don't have to worry about one of your wide receivers or running backs hitting. Especially since you're kind of fading wide receiver at this point.
Definitely. Who's your favorite player so far in fantasy? See, I kind of like Chubb a lot. I'm getting like Farquhar.
I don't have a singular favorite player.
No singular favorite?
No.
There's not like 1 or 2 players that you have to leave the draft with.
No,
that's a generic question,
because then I'm putting myself in a position to get sniped.
Right.
I like groups of players. I don't have to say, I have to come. I'm in 18 leagues. How am I going to come away with my guy in every draft?
You're never right.
Yeah.
As long as you're not snipped.
Yeah. That'd be more painful, but
sorry about that autocorrect.
Yeah, but it's like if I come away with Kelsey in the first round, obviously I'm comfortable with it.
Sure.
It's there's certain players I love the upside of Bijan Robinson. I like Barkley now that he's got the incentive of a 1-year deal. I think Geno Smith is a terrific value. He's got now his receiving crew's even better. He's got arguably the best receiving trio in the NFL. There's a lot of players I like, and there's a lot of players that I don't like. It's like I'm not going to draft Gabe Davis. I don't care. It's like,
Yeah, I
I'm
agree
sorry.
there. He's got no value to me.
I'm sorry. Whoever drafted him, I'm not drafting Alan Lazard. I'm not wasting draft capital on that. There's some players who just, they don't have any ceiling. We know who they are.
What about Marquise Brown?
Uh,
I don't want him either. I'm saying I agree. I love it.
you know what, though? Actually, I think I underrate Marquise Brown because he actually played well last year when he was healthy. So
But who's
I probably shouldn't do that.
Colt McCoy?
Yeah, but even a bad quarterback throws to somebody.
You're right.
That's true.
Garbage time counts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't want Marquise Brown as like my ideal number 3 wide receiver, but I don't think he stinks either.
Right. If he's your 4, you're happy, right?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, you're still not totally happy.
I always don't feel Marquise Brown. He's proved me wrong sometimes.
Me too.
But I always felt like he was overmatched as a number 1 wide receiver. Like, I really liked when the Cardinals got Hopkins. So I'm like, okay, Brown's a number 2. That's perfect.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think? Let me before we jump in here and do this duck race. Let me get this all set up. I got everybody in here. Only 7 people jumped in. If anybody wants to jump back in, make sure you throw snipe in the comments. In the comments. I'm gonna do a duck race real quick and just do a little giveaway. But what are your thoughts about Hopkins being on being with the Titans? Just yawned. My dog just yawned too, so I must be real something.
Yeah, it's just look. He's still a very good receiver. He doesn't have the downfield gear that he used to, but he can still catch everything thrown his way. He's a very good number 2 fantasy wide receiver, but he has no upside.
So I mean, pretty much sums it up.
It's an unexciting pick to me.
So I was doing some math.
I don't want to. He's the kind of guy I don't want in best ball.
He averaged over the last 10 years. I went back and he averaged 140 targets a year. That was his average.
Yeah,
because some of his years were like 100. I know, but I don't feel that time. That means he requires that much to be putting up them big numbers. But I mean, it also depends on. We also look back.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. He did a lot. He did a lot with the volume.
Some of the worst quarterbacks he's played with too. Yeah. So I think that too you got to take that into account.
Yeah.
So what's your thought on the Miami backs? I see you drafting the rookie.
I like a chain as a best ball in number 8. He was the fastest running back at the combine, and he goes to a team that is built around speed.
Great point.
Yeah,
and
he's not going to be a full-time back, but because he's only like 4 feet 50 pounds, something like that. King and I finally agree on what? Marquise Brown, yeah.
Probably a chain. I mean, he might be because I think he's.
No, I just said a chain while you put that up there, so it's probably about
it's probably what he's talking about.
We're definitely kind of jealous. You two got to hang out, and we didn't get to hang out with you. That would have been pretty cool.
To hang out the
Well, Pittsburgh's not that far away. It's your fault.
You're right. It's my own fault.
No, I'm kidding. But hey, if I got T from Auntie Brothers, I wouldn't leave either.
I'll see.
Yeah.
Well, flying to Pittsburgh sometime. I'll take you over.
All right.
I can tell you love food. That's a big thing. I like it.
I am the biggest pizza snob that you will ever meet.
Oh, you're not gonna. You got to come here one day. I'll get you some police station pizza and bring it to you. Best pizza you'll ever have.
Yeah, but I live in New York though.
I can bring it to. I'll bring it to Canton.
I'll do that. I love it, but it's like some of the best pizza out here. I just had some today. It's like I'm such a snob. There's a Papa John's down the block from me, and I never eat there.
I would never eat there either. No.
Yeah.
Couldn't.
I like Papa John's.
It's so generic.
Yeah.
I live in Minnesota. Come on.
That's true.
That is true.
We got like for here, it's like we got like hot dish. And we got, what hot dish is?
No.
It's like a casserole. They call it hot dish.
Sounds interesting.
It does.
Bring one of those.
Tater tot hot dish. You ever heard of that?
No, that sounds good.
No, that sounds good. Bring one of those.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's got tater tots on top, but it's like what is that?
Like a cheesy potato or something?
What's that pie? What they call it? Something pie.
Shepherd's pie.
Yeah, it's like shepherd's pie. It's got like
Oh,
corn and stuff in
bring
it.
some, do I
It's
love
like that, but they got
shepherd's
Oh, man,
pie,
put like
shepherd's pie.
cheesy. So it's got cheese in it too, and then they got tater tots over the top.
That'll fill you up quick, though.
It's pretty good.
Can you drive up to the airport in Cleveland with some of that?
See? You'll have it in the car when he picks you up.
I gotta keep it in the car for 12 hours, and I keep it hot.
Casey should be fired for Papa John's mentioning. Steve lives in Queens, New York too, so he knows what I'm talking about.
I'm gonna tell you, I've been to New York, and I had some pizza out there, and
but people come to New York and they go to like Sparrow, which is like a generic.
Yes.
Sbarro?
Manhattan
Sbarro?
pizza
No,
chain,
I'm not talking about
you know,
that. We
it's
have
like-
that out here.
Because they saw it on The Office. You
No,
know?
we have that.
Right.
I mean, it's normal. To me,
You have
I
to
went
go
into
to a
some.
real hometown pizza place.
I stayed
Something
in Manhattan,
little, right?
and I stayed
Yeah.
at this. I stayed at the. I think it was called the Sky Hotel or Sky Motel, Sky Hotel. I think it was called in Manhattan. And right across the street, there was this little store, very small little pizza store. Like you literally walked in. That's all you could do is walk in. Pizza that, I mean, greasiest pizza I think I ever had. It was so good, especially after I think I had just turned 21. First time in New York. It was fucking great
You
time.
lost your pizza virginity.
Yeah, it was so good. I think that this came out right when the Dark Knight came out. That's when I was in Manhattan.
Nice.
So it was a long time ago. All right, let's get this duck race going. Yeah, New York's awesome. That's one of my favorite places that I've been to. DC was pretty crazy too. I thought it was.
I've been to New York once
history
too.
buff.
It's pretty cool.
I've been to Pittsburgh twice.
Ooh.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get a time. Somebody give me a time.
3 minutes.
3 minutes. That's a long ass time.
1 minute.
There you go.
60 seconds. 60 seconds on the clock.
This duck race looks cool.
Duck race itself. It's just. I mean, there's a bunch of other things we could do. We could
Patrick's
do like a
the most
monster race.
positive guy I know, though. It's like, of course,
Thanks, Scott.
He's the most. Everything would be cool to him.
I'm
Say,
good with
wow,
it all,
look, a
right?
turd race. That's awesome.
Turd
Hey,
race.
if you're here, Scott, it's fun.
I
That's all
actually think
that
they
matters,
got that on here. I'm just kidding.
The fact that he's always positive, though, says a lot about him as a person. Though. It means he's living a good life, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm blessed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. Look at Sieg. He's got these
Look at
little
Sieg
Baker
up
hat.
there.
Got the little Baker hat on. I'm gonna tell you.
Sieg better not win this thing or it's fixed.
The naked ducks. There's something about these naked ducks. Sometimes, I mean, like they got nothing on them. They're
If I win, I get to pick my card, right?
Oh, I gotta
yeah.
put you in here. So I gotta put you in here. You're not in here.
It
That's
says
a different
Scott. I thought
I'm
that
gonna
was
put you
me.
in here. Hold on. Let me go back.
No, because I don't want no damn Shane Vereen card.
You get to pick your card. Whoever ends up first it's gonna go 1 through 3. Whoever
I know
ends
you're a
up first.
Seahawk fan. I want you to dig in your stash and get
Oh,
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now. I actually looked for
get
a
me
ton
that,
of stuff
that
like
Marshawn Lynch autograph card.
yeah.
So
So
I
he's
have a
got
lot
one,
of-
probably.
So I don't have any Seahawks football cards, but I have a lot. I'll tell you, I have a lot of.
I got a title locket.
a lot of
autograph
Mariners
helmet
cards.
behind me here.
I got a lot of Ichiro cards. A lot
I got where is it? I got a title locket autograph helmet right here. It was
Oh,
sent
man,
to
I
me
love
by a Sirius XM listener. You guys
How
see
cool is that?
Yeah.
The listener sent you that? How cool.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's really cool.
Probably my favorite piece of my collection. I'll bust it out for you guys.
Yeah.
I
Next
love
time is, I told you that baseball players love fantasy football. David Wright would always contact me for information, because I always stay up on the player news and stuff like that. And I became very friendly with David. And when he retired, he sent me a signed jersey for his locker and personalized it to me.
No way.
Inside the number 5, it says, "To Scott the King, you're the best, David Wright."
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
I don't think I'd ever wear it.
I have it in a frame.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Pat,
I can
do you want
imagine
in
your
the-
game room.
Pat, do you want in the race?
No, go ahead. You guys can do it.
These are just cards for me. I mean, I don't care. I'm just
Pat's so nice.
I like
Everybody
giving
else
away
wins.
You
stuff.
go,
You
you
can
go.
call
Let
me
somebody else win. Yeah.
Justin Claus, little JC. It's the beard.
Long as Sieg don't win.
Sieg's probably gonna win now. You
Just
just put it in. You put it in the universe. You put it in
Or
the universe.
Farquaad.
I want Sieg to come to to the expo in a Charlie Blackmon jersey because he looked.
Oh, it'd be great. Tell him to fly into Pittsburgh and I'll pick him up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna shuffle some characters quick. Shuffle it up.
All right, look at all this.
All right, there we go.
What's the snowman duck?
What do we think? Oh, there's too many purples there. Too many
it's
purples.
July.
Too many purples. There we go. I like this one.
Okay.
It's a little bit more unique. All right, ready? Set. Go. I like that we can put our logo up there. That's pretty sick.
That is pretty sick.
All right, so remember,
Ron and Scott are dragging.
Sometimes if you get out in front and you slow down a little bit, you don't want to use all your juice. So right now, Vegas is in front, Mel right behind him, Steven right there.
My duck has been taking some CBD gummies or something.
CBD gummies. He's on something more than that.
Look at this. The King's actually pulling away.
Yeah, but he's gonna start. See, this is kind of where you want. And then if you start falling back a little, it's just Steven right here. His duck actually might do pretty well. He's going to kick in the gas. Somebody's going to kick in the gas. 20 seconds left. Top three.
Look at that red duck.
Slowing back. Uh-oh.
Scott looks like a St. Louis.
Oh, no. King's gone. Uh-oh. Here he comes in the juice. There's Steven. There's King.
I think he farted and like gave some energy.
Look at the Jets on King.
Oh, my goodness. And the King wins it.
What a fix, right?
Oh, I'm sure it wasn't fixed.
It was a fix.
That means personal stash, right? Look, photo finish too.
I think you should give a card to personal stash also.
No doubt.
These are all out of my personal stash.
Yeah, but we got to dig deeper.
Whoever finished second should also get a card.
Yeah, the top
I guess
three.
I'm not taking Shane Vereen.
Top three are going to
I
get
don't
a
want
card.
Santana Moss because I don't like the Jets. I guess I'll take Terrell Pryor.
I got Terrell Pryor, Shane Vereen, and Santana Moss. Or I can send you something special. I might be able to find you an Ichiro card if you want that.
No, if you got a New York Met, though, I'll take it.
Oh, there you go.
I might have Mets cards. I can look through my stuff. I'll find you a Mets card if you want a Mets card. I might actually have some of that.
You know what I got? I got some Mets cards from the 80s.
I have a ton of old baseball cards. I'm gonna tell you, I have some crazy old stuff. I have more older stuff than anything. I stopped collecting like 2011 is kind of when I stopped, and I got back into it like.
The other room, my favorite NBA player of all time. I have an autographed Bernard King.
Sean Kemp.
Nice.
Bernard King was my favorite basketball player of all time.
Mine's not even Sean Kemp. It's Gary Payton. Probably would be mine.
The glove.
Yep.
The glove.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite Met back in the day? I like Wally Backman. That was one of my favorites.
Doc Gooden.
Doc, okay.
Yeah, prettiest pitching emotion I ever saw.
He was. I got a couple.
No, Mel, you're not getting Romeo Dobbs. It's whatever I got here. King's the only one who gets the special treatment. You get to choose from this. So Scott in the chat, you can put whoever you want. I got Terrell Pryor autograph, and that's to $299. I got the Shane Vereen autograph with the jersey in there, and that's to $399. And I got the same.
You know what I really want if you have it somewhere? I want Richard Sherman.
I would love a Richard Sherman card. I love Richard Sherman. He's like he's one of my favorites.
He's my favorite football player of all time.
Yeah, he's amazing.
That would be a sweet one there.
Yeah. That's my bucket list as a journalist. I want to interview Richard Sherman one day.
Well, we're going to have to make that happen.
I mean, on my Sirius XM show, Michael Florio got KJ Wright on last week, and that was fantastic.
Wow.
And we also had Robert Turbin like a few weeks before.
Well, who do you know from Seattle that would know Sherman? You got to know somebody that knows somebody to make this happen.
I got contacts with the team itself, but I kind of don't want to go that route. You know, I'll be careful about my ask. You know, it's
you don't want to look like you're begging for something, right?
Yeah, it's if I knew somebody outside the team that knew him, it's like I'd love to have him on, and I'd love to do a one-on-one with Pete Carroll. That would be awesome too.
That would be sweet. Yeah. How about a charity event? Can't you get to some charity event he's at with the people you know? That's all you got to do is get there.
I know you guys think I'm wealthy. I'm not. You know, it's. If I came to Pittsburgh, I might have to crash with you instead of staying.
You'd be able to crash here anytime you want.
Yeah.
That's so funny. You guys are goofy. All right,
It'd be fun to crash with Patrick. Like the toilet
he just built
overflowed.
this crazy
Isn't that
nice.
wonderful?
He just built a really nice patio.
Yeah, I was building the deck.
I just extended the porch.
Yeah, my wife got me busy on my honey-do list before football season kicks in.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
I don't think anything
live draft. Come down to the live draft, Scott.
I don't think anything could tick Patrick off. It's like,
oh, it can once in a while, but it takes a lot.
Yeah, probably somebody complaining about a slow draft, and
that would do it. That would do it.
All right, so Scott Reynolds, get with me. Shoot me a DM. You can pick one from one of these cards. I can take a picture for you if you want. Then Mel, you get second choice, and then I'll give Steven the third choice of whatever's left. And then Scott, I'll find you. You want Mets card? I'll find you some Mets cards. I got a bunch. Like I said, I got a bunch of random stuff. I'm sure I got some old autos that I'm just sitting around collecting dust. Actually, they're not collecting dust because they're all in nice little card sleeves. Got to keep it nice.
Sweet. Do you got a Doc Gooden card?
I don't know.
I don't have an autograph one.
No? Yeah, me neither. I have his rookie, but I don't have nothing autographed.
The rookie. I used to have that rookie when I was a kid.
So one of my favorite cards is I have a Ichiro Pujols Rookie of the Year card. That's the 2000, and they're going for like $1,000. I love that.
Man, that would be sweet.
Yeah, you can give me that one. Yeah,
you're funny. Stickers too. I'm gonna send some stickers. We got plenty of stickers. I'll send those out too. So the top 3, and I'll send.
I don't play Pokemon. No.
No, Pokemon.
You say stickers, I think Pokemon.
There's stickers in Pokemon. I used to play Pokemon as a kid.
Yeah.
I got an old Clemente from back in the day.
What a good recommendation for a book to read. Maybe the best sports book I've ever read all time was like Clemente's biography by David Marinus. It's just called Clemente. Could probably get it very cheap on Amazon. I found it in a thrift store in Queens for $0.25. I said, I think I'll read this. It's only $0.25, right?
Yeah.
Best sports book I've ever read.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven, he's talking about Pogs. That's my generation for sure. I don't know if you remember Pogs.
Yeah.
That was awesome. That's a big deal.
I'm too old to remember most of that. My kids remember it.
Pogs, man, they came out when I was little. So, I would think, for sure.
It'd be like a Pop 270, right?
That was a big deal for like
Patrick and I come from the generation where you would put the baseball card in your bike.
Yes. Yep, right there in the flaps, and you didn't even worry about it. You just went down the road, right?
See, so our generation got a little less smart, and we put tin cans in our tires when it just wears our tires down.
Can you remember flipping for cards?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
All the time, right?
Some kid was mad because, like, Willie Mays at the end of his career was like a Met, and I loved Willie as a little kid. I was only like 6 years old, when he played for the Mets, but I swindled his sister out of a Willie Mays card.
You still got it?
No.
That'd be a sweet card.
You don't take care of a lot of things when you were a kid.
Yeah, you're right. Unfortunately,
that's so true. It's so crazy.
It's like my aunt is a movie producer, and she got me all these autographed pictures I never took care of. I had 2 Scott Sylvester Stallone with Hulk Hogan on it. Right? I had autographed Richard Pryor photo. 2 Scott.
Oh my God!
It's like I never took care of any of that shit.
Could you imagine your game room right now? It looks
dumbass.
I feel the same way. I had a lot of my cards and stuff are just gone.
I had an autographed promo photo from 1977, autographed by the original 4 members of KISS.
No way.
And I didn't take care of it.
Oh my! Your game room would look amazing right now.
My dumbass room looks very great right now. That's what I feel like. But I was a kid. I didn't.
That's what you do, right?
To do with an autographed picture. My mother's like, "Oh, he loves Richard Pryor." Sends me a Richard Pryor autographed picture.
Yeah, you're like, big deal, right?
Yeah.
Put that at the bottom of the pile.
Like my mother knew she was like a huge Barbra Streisand fan, and she got her autographed picture that says, "To Judy, love Barbara," and my mother had that framed in the living room.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
And I'll bet you still have that one, right?
Yeah, but I'm not a big autograph guy, though.
Nah.
To me, the autograph, like the real meaning of an autograph, is the genuine connection between the celebrity and the fan. And so many guys just scribble. Hey,
Yeah, now for sure it
You
is.
know,
It's terrible.
David Wright, I have an autograph jersey that says "To Scott the King, you're the best." That's an autograph.
That's an
And
autograph.
I've learned my lesson. I'm not stupid enough. I got that in a frame, so I can look at that and be proud of it.
Oh,
And
that's
Tyler
great.
Lockett didn't autograph this to me, but a listener gave this to me. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, you have to.
From
Right.
the heart. There's real emotion like it. There's very few autographs.
That's a true fan.
There's a very few autographs that like pass from the celebrity to the fan or the person that they're dealing with, and there's actual emotion behind it. It's like, get out my face, or just like, it's got to be real. Like I've had people ask me for my autograph, and every time I do it, I get floored. It happens every time it happens. I get floored. Like Sieg asked to take a picture with me, and so did other people at the Scott Fishbowl New York event. I'm like, why do you want a picture with me?
That's what makes you so cool.
Goofy ass, bald looking guy from Queens. Like, who's gonna care?
Are you kidding? You're the king.
Yeah.
Sieg did. We did.
Yeah. We
did.
were so excited to see Sieg's picture with you. We were like,
Yeah.
we were like kids in a candy store.
I was more excited to take a picture with him than he, oh shit, Sieg.
We're gonna have to get you some gear. I'm gonna get that shirt made up. And if you want a hat too, you just let me know. I'm gonna get some stuff made. I know you said you wanted a shirt, so
yeah,
I'll get some stuff made for you. Don't worry. I'm working on merch. That's my goal.
Oh, JC's a merch guy. He can find any kind of merch.
That's why you JC graphic design.
Exactly.
Yeah,
his graphics are amazing.
Do you web design too?
That's something I need to see. That's something that I really need to get into. I know that's something that when I learned graphics, it was still, HTML. So it's not anything like it was writing code, and I did not like that. I hated
somebody looking for a web designer was like,
yeah. I mean, I want to do it. I mean, but it's something that I need to learn. It's something that
you
literally I can
design though.
It's something that it's something that if you're looking for a web designer, I know I actually have a fairly good friend that does it. She does it for a job, like that's her job.
Right.
So
But you're a graphic designer, right?
Yeah. So I do graphic design. I mean, I went to school for it, and I just, it wasn't something. I mean, right after that, I was like, this isn't working out for me. I'm gonna go to the military. That's what I did.
My son got his degree in graphic design also, so. But he's gone into producing.
See, that's all you need, JC.
See, I mean, I would like to do all this stuff. Like, I like doing the graphic stuff. Like, I like doing the produce. Like, this is fun. Like doing videos and stuff. Like, I want to learn. Like, I do some video editing and stuff like that. That's something I'm trying to teach myself. And
Yeah, he does all of that. He's a producer for the Better Sports Network and for Guru Elite.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to do all this stuff. I mean, you clearly see I like to do the graphics, and I like to
get wild. You have a knack for it, yeah.
He does.
Yeah.
All right.
He puts great graphics with our questions when we put something out on Twitter. Yeah. He's amazing.
Those are just the quick ones.
Yeah. Patrick's so positive, though. It's like JC could design a graphic with a middle finger, and Patrick. It's a wonderful statement.
Look, you don't even see my photo. You see the sports affiliation. That's JC.
That's funny.
It's about us. That's why, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, let's get out of here, man. Scott, always a pleasure having fun hanging out with you.
And fun with you guys. That's what I like about the sports affiliation. You guys put fun, into fantasy. I think
that's what it should be. I mean, like I said, it should never. I mean, the negativity, the bullying, the pushing around, like that's got to go. Like that's got to get away from fantasy. People got to get away from it.
In today's environment where everybody's at each other's throats. This is a fun environment.
It should be. I mean, if we're not, why are we playing it if we're not having fun?
Yeah,
like we all have jobs, and that sucks. Like I was talking to Patrick earlier, I was like, that's the shitty thing. Like if we're not having fun doing something else that we're doing on the side, then we need to get a stop.
That's exactly what you
texted. All about be having fun. There is some shit talking. I'm gonna tell you right now, I like shit talking, but it's got to be fun,
respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, respect.
You have to know each other. Otherwise,
never get personal.
Tommy slapped Jock Peterson, I think, because I think Jock was talking trash to him, and he doesn't know Tommy like that. That was the way I read it.
Oh my.
Yeah, I mean, as
Yeah.
long as it's
If
not
you show
traditional,
respect,
then,
right,
I
that's
mean,
all we
it's
want.
been fun.
Yeah.
It's all in good fun. We can all. I mean, none of us are. Some of us don't agree on players. So like I said, when I saw Bateman get off the board, you heard my reaction.
I know. When I saw Lazard go off the board, I was like, I wouldn't have taken him in round 20.
Sorry, Mel.
Sorry, Mel.
On that note, let's get out of here. All right, y'all. Appreciate it.
See you guys.
Later.
Thanks a lot.
Let me
Scott.
get the outro.
Thanks, JC.
I added a new outro, so we got an outro now, and it's positive vibes only. All right, peace out.
Later.